Welcome back, Bio 100 team. Thanks for clicking. Should I do it all in song? Nah, that'd be ridiculous. Okay, this is LinkedIn video number 2. We're going to use the platform now to its full advantage. You've spent so much time outlining your goals, thinking of your values, defining those skill sets, populating now all that good content into a great LinkedIn profile. You've refined it. You've got a great picture going on. You're proud of that thing. And I want to show you all the really, really cool ways that LinkedIn empowers you to go out there and get that opportunity now that you've built the profile, which took a lot of work. I know. By the end of this video, here's what we hope that you're going to get out of the platform. We're going to use it to perform a custom search. Woo! For internships, and jobs. And in fact, they have a very, very specific jobs portal for internships and entry-level jobs outside of the normal one. And we're going to go through both and you're going to see them. So custom searches, awesome. Oh, look at that. Hey, just like before, we're going to perform a little research. We need to know about the companies we're applying for. We can use the platform to do that and to follow their pages. We're going to make connections and start really networking. I can't say this enough. Who you know is just as, if not more important sometimes, than what you know. If a boomer told you that, well, they were right. Definitely right. We need to network. And I want to show you a little bit more about the giving and receiving of recommendations and the endorsement of skill sets in the LinkedIn profile. We want you to learn how to interface with recruiters that are associated with these jobs and these internships. And I mentioned recruiters in the last video. And boy, does this set LinkedIn apart. This gives you a face, a contact with a nameless and faceless job that you may have found on Indeed.com or somewhere else. This allows you to really take some power and some control into your hands and then allow you to apply for those opportunities that you're really interested in. Okay, first things first, searching for internships or jobs. Now, I'm going to show you that they're going to come to you. The smarter you build your profile, the jobs will just pop up right there before you so that you don't have to search at all. That's what makes this platform so special. But you know what? You can also go ahead and not wait for them to come to you. You can be taking that first step out there. You can perform a custom search for the thing you're looking for. And so remember, university.linkedin.com. They had a 2-page tutorial on how to do this. Boom. I've taken a screenshot for the finding a job or internship item. And again, it's a 2-pager that I think provides you with a 1 through 10 that's super helpful. And I'm actually not going to go through that here. I've kind of built my own little how-to tutorial, but you can consult the pros as well. And again, that page is loaded with helpful tutorials. So peruse and explore, just like I showed you the offshoots of YouTube and SlideShare. It's all there for you, okay? And I want you to search using what's the specific student jobs portal or directly on your online profile. Ready, set, let's jet. Students.linkedin.com. Students.linkedin.com. They like students.linkedin.com. Okay, last song. I promise. That was the last one. Last one. This graphic, this infographic, it ain't lying. Browsing job descriptions through LinkedIn provides a treasure trove of info. We're going to go through all this. I really just love this because the foot in the door potential, learning about the company's culture, and of course the job description. We're going to hit all this and more. Just like with Indeed and other platforms such as Biospace, you can set up and manage alerts, including how often you want to get alerts, the types of jobs you want to get alerts about. This is kind of a little snapshot of the way they provide you such information of jobs you might be interested in. I'm going to go through another way of doing this that's a little more straightforward in a minute, but it's good to know that you could stay in the know and set it to give you whatever you need whenever you want it. When you click on students.linkedin.com, it allows you halfway down the page or so to click on a very special link, and you see it right here. See all the student jobs. It says, very catchy, I want to be a superstar. All the superstars start somewhere. There are thousands of internships and entry-level jobs here. This is a special web browser search base that provides you with those internship and entry-level jobs. Perfect for you, perfect for where you're at. And then when you grow in your career, you can go to the regular jobs portal and again use the profile, which is going to suggest you jobs as you build it. So this is a great tool. I'm going to first show you how to use this one to perform searches, and then I'm going to show you how your profile built very smartly will just send the jobs your way. Ready? Let's enter it. Boom! This is what you see when you go in here and you just put the word biology in the search bar and let the internship portal do its thing, okay? So the only thing I've done is put the word biology right up there, and I'm animating in that green arrow up at the top left just for dramatic effect. Ooh, look at that, there it is. You can see across the top a lot of pieces of information. I haven't refined the search based on geography. It just says United States. There's a lot of different icons across the top, and I'm going to go through each of them. The jobs bar right below gives you customizable options. It says sort by, internship, date posted, LinkedIn features, and company. And then there's all filters. So each of these has a drop down, and I'm going to go through each of these drop downs with you so you can learn how to actually be more and more specific about particular opportunities. On the left, you see all those opportunities just kind of listed, and you can scroll within that sub page right here. And once you click on one of them, you see them populated on the right-hand side. So you can see the side-by-side profile of a particular job on the right versus the entire list on the left. And there's a ton of information we're going to learn here. And it's really, really nice. And if you wanted to just focus and make one particular job the whole page, you would click on the title on the right-hand side. So you could do that too. Let's take a look. Now, when I just put in biology, and I've boxed this on the left-hand side there near the top, it's going to give me 504 results. And again, we talked last time about how the timing of the market and when you're actually searching will vary those numbers. And then, of course, how you search based on specific terms and locations will further narrow that down. So right now it's saying through their portal, they can find, with the word biology, 504 opportunities throughout the country. Okay? Just so happens that the first one is pretty nearby. And I'll talk about why that is in a minute. So you can see all of those 504 jobs if you kept scrolling there right here on the left-hand side. And I've bracketed that with this green piece. Laboratory technician trainee. Internship 1 year. Biochemistry and molecular biology for polymer degradation. Animal science intern. Boy, I kind of wish I was going back and doing this. These are very, very interesting sounding to me. Maybe I'd actually end up in a totally different job career path. We didn't have LinkedIn when I was coming up through the ranks. I want to circle here in orange that I can start to set up my job alerts based on any of these things. And what will happen is you can further refine it for any of the drop downs that I'm going to show you later. So if you want to do just Biology US, you're throwing caution to the wind. You want to see every single one that comes on after this page of 504. Any day a new one's posted, have at it. If you want to be much more specific about opportunities in geography, you can absolutely do that too. So we can do our job alerts just like we've been doing before. On the right-hand side here, on the left-hand side here, I've boxed in a little piece of information that you're going to be able to see for each of the opportunities. And I just love this because it gives you two cool pieces of information. Now, we've seen date posted on job before, and Indeed did that for us. And this does it as well. It says it was brought to us, this internship here. This is in Golden, Colorado for at the National Renewable Energy Lab 1 week ago. Now, you can see on the right this big apply button. you can actually apply for the job right through here. And there's 2 ways to do that, and we'll talk about both ways. If you do apply through LinkedIn directly, it sometimes takes you to a company website to apply to, or it allows you to do it through the LinkedIn portal. If so, it will tell you how many people have applied to that job already. That is a big piece of information. So it says, as of this screenshot, the job was, or I should say internship was posted 1 week ago, and to the point in time that you're looking at it, 12 people have applied. That is an interesting piece of information that you're not going to find on Indeed or other general search engines that just are showing you the opportunities. You're not going to get to see those job applicant numbers in quite this way. So that's really special. On the right-hand side, I've boxed the title of this job that's being highlighted. It's located down the street from us in Benicia. And again, if I click on this, and I'm going to click on this for you, it will blow up the rest of this. But before I do, start to take a look at some of the goodies. It says that there's a new job posted just 13 hours ago. I could save it for later, or I could apply to it now if I'm, depending on where I'm at. It says there's no applicants so far for this internship. It gives me a quick hit piece of information about the company and where it's based out of. And it also, and we're going to get to this, says I have connections here. Oh boy, I have 2 connections that are based from my LinkedIn network through Sac State. And then I have 2 that are built into my alumni network because I went to Ohio State University, and you see the logos there on the middle right-hand side. It's saying that some of my connections, and now there's 4 of them, work at Valero, and I should know them. They're in my network. I've already made connections with them. I'll get there later. Oh boy, look at this. I've got, if I look down here and I can continue to scroll, there's lots of information beyond what you see here, but the recruiter pops up here, and all of the different pieces of information about the company and the job descriptions. And so I think this first one is such a great example. So I've clicked on the laboratory technician trainee position. It was the first on the list on the last screen when we just had the general hits, and I've isolated it from everything on its own screen, and you can scroll down and see more information, and I'll take you through. I'm going to do screenshot by screenshot of what you'd see if you just kept on scrolling down the page. There is so much to unpack, okay? This is a new position. We just mentioned that. Posted 13 hours ago. Ooh, be among the first 25 applicants. You can save the job for later if you don't want to do it right now, or you're not ready, or you can apply directly once you are. I'm going to point this out right off the bat. Contact the job poster. I can't continue to say this enough. I know I might be sounding like I work at the Department of Redundancy department. I like that joke. But it's worth pointing out again and again that Lindsay Rickett here is actually paid by this company Valero to do the task of finding talent for this position. And it's in her interests to do this. That's what she's paid to do. For you, it is a great way to interface with the job. I actually can see a person. This is a real person with a real LinkedIn profile. You can click on that. You can see what she does. You can contact the job poster, and there's a lot of reasons you want to do that. 1, you can ask the recruiter to evaluate you as a fit for the position in a polite and professional manner. And you can also ask really nice questions to get more information about the position if you're confused or you want to know more about how the role might or might not fit your skills and where you want to go in the future. So right off the bat, contacting the job poster. You don't see that on Indeed. Saving and applying, we mentioned that just a moment ago. Depending where you're at and where you're ready to do, I've boxed those up there in an orange circle. On the left, and I'm going to put this in and out of a little animated green arrow for just a minute, an estimated salary. That's interesting, okay? So look at the salary information coming right to you. For laboratory technicians in San Francisco Bay Area at Valero, the base salary, $62,000 per year. That ranges anywhere from $43,000 to $89,000. Total compensation, that would be including any benefits or maybe a signing bonus or both, $67,000, so another $5,000 a year, and that kind of changes the range accordingly. So these are base salaries for lab technicians in San Francisco Bay Area at the Valero Energy Corp. Now this is an internship. You can see that at the top, this is a trainee position. So that's not the base salary for this particular internship. That's the base salary for the job with the title lab technician. And if you were to click on that, you can actually see what the requirements are for that job. Some of them are bachelor's degree with a year of experience. Some of them are bachelor's degree with 2 years. Some of them are a master's degree. Some of them are a PhD. And so they have different levels of those particular positions called lab technician. There's level 1, 2, etc. Therefore, you have that pretty significant range of salaries. $43,000 at the low end, $89,000 at the high end. $43,000, you know what? I'm telling you right here, you do this lab technician trainee position on your route to the degree. You impress them. You knock their socks off. You do such a great job at all the things they ask you to do. It says right there at the top, you work with a lab technician or a chemist on product certification and release. So you're working with potentially the future you. They love you so much, they've invested so much time and money into training you, they might just hire you. And maybe they'll start you somewhere above that lower range at $43,000 when you finish your degree because they know and value you. So you can turn a training position that might be unpaid at the moment into a nice salaried position later. Just make a good impression. Just be yourself, ask questions, and do a good job. On the right-hand side, well, this is really nice. Similar jobs, okay? These are similar opportunities, and they're compiled right here for you. Lab technician 1, and you can see what happened there. On the main page, when we put in biology internships and we didn't specify by geography, this little similar jobs is not simply that the skills and the level are similar to the ones at Valero that you see on the left. It's starting to get more smart, and you didn't even have to change anything. Do you see how this is all Bay Area stuff? San Francisco, Santa Clara, Stanford, Santa Rosa. It did it for you. You didn't have to refine the job, even though you could do a drop down by geography or have entered it in yourself. It did it for you right here on this platform. That's really, really nice, okay? It's got the same skill set level, and all those good pieces of information will pop up. Like, for example, the ability to set further alerts on these similar jobs. And so you could set alerts on the previous screen. You can set them again over here. And again, you can see that if you have connections in your network that happen to work at any of these other jobs, they'll pop up. And so look at, I just happen to have one. His name is Victor, actually, really nice guy. And he looks like he is working at Bayside Solutions. And you know what? I didn't even know he was there. But maybe this is a high time to connect with him again and say hi. How are you doing? And what's it like to work there? And have any insights? And are you able to help me think about how to do this? You never know. This could lead to the opportunity working out for you just because you've connected with people. Couple of opportunities down there. Lab Technician 2 at Apex Systems. It says that I have a association through Sac State that's there right now. And so there is already, just within this first hit, similar jobs that make sense and people within my network. And my network's really not that big at the moment, and so I'm sure if I had expanded that, my opportunities to have people at these places would grow too. So again, the more work you put into putting together a nice profile and networking, the better this platform becomes, the more easy it becomes, and the less searching and manual effort you actually have to do yourself as the platform does the work for you. Okay. So back to the Valero job. If I scroll down past that little recruiter and salary information we had, the next thing it says is highlights. And again, this is really truly the power of LinkedIn. LinkedIn meaning connecting and networking. So at Valero, as I mentioned before, it said 2 people in my network from Sac State and 2 people from my network at Ohio State are there now and are people I could potentially tap into. So there's 4 ways to think about this, not other than the people I already know. And if you think about this as the recruiter, plus these 4 people. Now there's 5 faces to this job. 5 people I can get some insight from. And on Indeed.com, I didn't get that. So if I click on a little bit more information, I want to know, wait a minute, so who are these 2 people from Sac State that I supposedly know that are over here at Valero, and what are they doing? And maybe now I can get a hold of them. I click on that, and here's what it shows you, okay? 2 results. Here are my 2 connections, Mary Aislinn Talbot and Anuj Shah, and these folks are former Sac Staters who are both part of Valero, and you can see that Valero, being a big company with lots of locations throughout the country, they're actually working not at the Benicia location, but one in Sac and one in San Antonio, and they're doing different things. One is in development and one is the lab bench. Oh, look at that. Lab technician. Mary would be a brilliant choice for someone to reach out to right away here to know more about this position, because Mary would have the bachelor's level and she's a lab tech that's earning a salary. She's passed the traineeship, she's passed the internship, and this would be a smart way to kind of start to do things. And she happens to be in Sacramento, and networking online is one way to do it. You make your contact, you kind of reestablish a hi, how are you doing? And then maybe you say, hey, can I buy you a cup of coffee, and kind of pick your brain a little bit and get some insight. Who doesn't like coffee or tea or something that could bring people together? Your treat, not a lot of investment of money, and just to share some time and get some information. If I take a deeper dive here, I actually, notice a little bit of bad news. I have a step that I need to do first before I can have this magical coffee date. Next to her name, it says second. And next to his name down there, it says third. That means we're actually not LinkedIn buds yet. However, it's like the degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon. I hope you know that game. How many different actors and actresses does it take to get to Kevin Bacon? And it's usually less than 6 movies, and because he's in every movie and he's worked with every actor and actress in Hollywood and Bollywood and everywhere else because he's in everything. Anyway, it says that I'm not actually primary contacts with either of them. I'm 1 step away from Mary, and I'm 2 steps away from Anuj, and therefore I still need to connect. Because I'm only 1 removed from Mary, I can connect directly with her. But because I'm 2 away from the bottom contact, I need to message first. And so that's kind of how it works. Now, it also says who my connections are that we have in common. So I'm 1 step away from Mary, but I'm directly connected with some people that she's directly connected with. Drew Reams, Rosalie Sprouse, those are 2 biology faculty right here at Sac State, and then 4 other shared connections, and I can click on that and learn who those folks are as well. So for some reason, if I was too shy to contact Mary directly, I could actually potentially go through people I know better. So let's say Rosalie and I are best friends in the world. Rosalie and I can talk first, and I could say, hey, would you mind helping me connect with Mary? And then maybe Rosalie does it, and there we go, boom, get some insight that we need. So that came up on the right-hand side. If I was already connected, it would say first. So first, second, or third, just like bases in baseball? I don't know. There's a box to point out what I was talking about with my shared connections that make me 1 degree away. So as promised, let's go back to the original search hit page for internships in biology. And wow, this is kind of cool. In the few moments it took to take screenshots and upload them and kind of do what I was doing here with you guys, the results you can see on the left-hand side went from 504 to 505. So every moment, new content, new opportunities are being uploaded to Indeed. And if you had set an alert for that, it would have alerted you to in any way you want to be alerted through the platform, through email. You have lots of choices for that. Okay, so some of the drop-downs. We had right now been filtering based on internship level, and so it's got 505 in parentheses, and you can see my green arrow indicating the drop down that you can modify. But maybe you're actually ready, you're closer to graduation to apply for some entry level positions. Well, wowee zowie, look at the number across the US when I just have biology in there. 14,284. And so if you are ready, you're graduating this semester, it's right around the corner. This data, I just made this video, it's pretty recent. So what you can do is click off of internship and onto entry level and get closer to where you need to be. And then as you rise up the ladder, there are others: associate, mid-level, director, executive. And so that's probably not where you are. And I'm actually a little surprised these titles show up in the student jobs portal, but it kind of does nicely, though, I guess, give you an idea of titles and levels to follow if you kind of went down this career path and wanted to know how promotions would look past the entry level and where opportunities were. And you can see the numbers kind of almost this little weird, sort of not at all, but kind of like a little bell curve where you've got entry level and associate high, and then the higher up you go, the lower you are, just kind of like you were at internship. So at both ends, coming in and as an intern, or kind of getting really high up there in expertise and experience and education, there's not a lot of opportunities. But then kind of right there in the entry level and associate and even mid, that's kind of the sweet spot with a lot of opportunities. So you can see how that changes. So you may have heard that it's important to strike when the iron is hot, and that is so true. And this next little drop down gives you the ability to filter opportunities based on how long they've been up there, how long have they been online, and therefore how many people have had a chance to already see it and maybe apply and kind of beat down the process. And so timeliness is key, and we can filter. So it's actually set for you to any time. Now on the left hand side, it was filtering for you a little bit based on recent jobs. You can further be specific and filter through the past 24 hours, the past week, or the past month. So this is really a nice opportunity to maybe focus on the ones that are most recent first, and then kind of go back in time a little bit. And if it's more than a few months that it's been up there, chances are they might be really far down the process, and it might not be worth your time. So I would always recommend looking at the more recent ones, and then the older ones can give you a good idea of lots of other information, and you can certainly throw your name into the ring and apply, but might not be some of the more hireable ones in that sense. Continuing down the drop-down menu row, and I really do like these drop-downs. I kind of like it better than on Indeed.com when you had the advanced job search and you had to kind of scroll down and enter things, and you can do that here too, but I really like this. LinkedIn features, under 10 applicants. Whoa, wow. You can filter based on how many people have applied. You can feature based on the jobs that are in your network. And so what this is saying is, of the 505 internships, I have connections in my network at 24 of those opportunities. And then easy apply, we're going to get to that later. So you can sort by features of the platform there, along with all these other ones. I went ahead and, of all those drop downs, picked the in your network one. And so you can see that at the top left, I filtered down from 505 opportunities to 24. And I just wanted to point out one more time, because really this is the key component of this platform, that the connections are right there. And so again, I have a connection with a person and through Sac State that are popping up. And you know now that if you click on the opportunity and takes you to a page dedicated to that opportunity, and you scroll a little ways down, you can see exactly who those folks are and if you need to connect with them directly or make another step first. Beautiful. This is the magic of the platform. And I'll say this one more time, quote the famous microbiologist Louis Pasteur, "Chance favors the prepared mind." I know he's old. You can tell by the black and white photo here. So we'll modernize him for a second. And maybe he'll say, maybe modern day Louis P, LP. He's going to say, and knowing lots of peeps, yo. Hashtag Popeye's chicken sandwich for life. He stood in line. I saw him. He was in line, all that long line. But he got his chicken sandwich. I just wanted to say one more thing about the drop downs before we moved on. And that's if you've been using LinkedIn and you've been doing a lot of market research about locations and companies, and you're starting to feel more comfortable, and now you're going to use LinkedIn to start to feel even more comfortable about companies, you can actually start to filter jobs based on them. So maybe Merck or Abbott, and you can see here the state of North Carolina even is a company organizational tool here. We've talked about North Carolina and Research Triangle Park. So you can get more and more focused on areas and companies that you get excited about. You just can't wait to think about Illumina. You just can't wait to think about North Carolina. You just are so excited about a particular company. Well, then you know what? You've done your homework. Let's keep it rolling. There you go. LinkedIn allows you to do that. Novartis, Genentech, it's all going to be there for you. Okay? Let's keep going. Okay, drum roll, please. It's time for the drum roll. It's the section where I'm going to let all the work I've done so far in building a smart profile, all that outlining my instructors made me do, and defining goals and making a profile. Why do I have to do everything? All right, I get you. Let's let the profile do the work. Now, to this point in the video, I've shown you the internship and entry-level jobs portal for students, okay? And that required you to do the active searching and filter based on the drop-down menus and things like that. But this, what I'm going to show you here, is how a smart profile, a custom, well-thought-out, highly built profile is going to bring jobs to you. And that's the magic. Okay, Bio 100 team, the magic moment. Using the LinkedIn profile to do the work for us. And at the top, you see that the profile is filled when you go to linkedin.com after it's built with some options. We got a home screen. And by the way, one of the things you could do on the home screen, I'm not going to show it to you, is you can see how many people have actually viewed your profile. And that's actually very helpful if you're applying for jobs and all of a sudden you start to see people are looking at my profile and it's a recruiter or it's somebody at Valero and oh my gosh, this might be happening. You can actually see that unless they've set their preferences to private, which you can do too. My network, and I'm going to show you that one as well so you can kind of get a feel of, okay, what does the tool look like and how can I create connections using the My Network. There's jobs, okay, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm highlighted on jobs. Messaging, I could actually use this as a quick way to contact people and ask questions like, for example, the recruiter or someone in my network that I want to ask about a job. And then there's different notifications. And then there's this little me button, and that's where you click on if you want to edit your profile. There are two things that you see here under the jobs. Number one, your dream job's just a search away. Search job, search location. Wait a minute. What was all this magic? I thought you said I didn't have to do searching. Now, you're right, okay? But I did want to show you that beyond the student jobs portal, when you're on your page, you can actually search yourself too, right here. Search jobs, search location. It'll take you back to the similar screen that you just saw with opportunities on the left and a highlighted position on the right, and you can filter it in many, many ways from there. So you can still do that, okay? I just beyond the jobs portal. But if you look down below, you're going to see the magic, okay? So before we get there, you can at the top see that there's opportunity to either do or don't have the platform track jobs, meaning as you do searches, would you like it to follow that along so that it knows you're doing it? If it knows you're doing it, it can provide you with similar jobs based on that or not. Career interests, same thing. Would you like to be very, very specific about how you want the thing to do it? It says LinkedIn salary. That's going to give you, like we've had in other platforms, ideas about salary ranges, similar positions, like we saw on Glassdoor, for example. When you look midway through, this is where the magic is starting to happen because you viewed. Okay, now don't get the wrong idea. I'm definitely not trying to get a new job, and I'm definitely not trying to go to Oregon Health and science because it's such a terribly unbeautiful part of the country. No, I was doing the research for this, you know. Oh, shoot. My recent job searches weren't just the biology internship, and now I can see my recent job searches right in the middle there above the blue box. I did look for associate professors. Ooh, there's 138? And you're all like, yeah, go, leave, get out of here. We don't want you here. Ah, that hurt. I heard it through the video. That hurt. But because I clicked on that, it is showing me very, very similar ones, and it's using my profile to build the most recent and where I have alumni and connections to, and I could click on the See All button and it would just show me a slew of them. And so there's everything from research analysts to adjunct faculties throughout all sorts of places. And so you can see that the platform will provide you opportunities just based on if you've viewed one in the past or not. And of super duper importance to point out, you're on your profile, you click jobs, you scroll down past where we just were on the previous slide, and you see based on your profile. Based on your profile. Winner, winner, chicken dinner at Popeyes. This is what we're going for. And so all the ones you see here, and I could continue to scroll down and they would show me more, and it would show me more until my heart was content. I see similar jobs based on my education, my level of expertise, my experience, my skills, anything I've put into my profile. It builds these jobs, these recommendations for me very specifically. And again, if you kind of scroll around and you start to look, you see that, oh good, I get the time information. When was it posted? Some were new, some were just a week ago. I see where they are, and it's starting to build from location. Okay, so based on my profile, it knows I'm in the Davis and Sacramento area. You see Woodland. That is smart. It wants to keep me local unless I tell it not to. All of these jobs are going to say PhD level plus the same amount of years of experience I have, because it knows my profile. It's going to, similarly as it's done in the past, show me information about people in my network and people who work there or people who I might know that work there and ways to contact. And if I clicked on any of these particular jobs, it would take you to the Valero looking layout that we went through before. All the same information. So this is where the platform does the work based on the number of years and your education, experience, skills, and your network. This is really what it's all about, okay? So I'll just pause there for a second. Outstanding. Easy apply. I'm going to box that in there. Some of these jobs have that, some of them don't. This is a one-step process by which I can apply directly through my profile on the LinkedIn platform. I might not even have to submit a resume for that. Ooh, some of those jobs had easy apply. Easy sounds easy. I like the word easy. You know, I could work at that Arcadia opportunity. Let's click on it. I did. Bang. This is what it looks like when you see the opportunity to easy apply. It pulls up your profile, got your name, your picture. That is not what I look like anymore. But you know what? It's saving me. You see that little blue button? It says review your profile. Maybe you want to take this opportunity to update your picture, old man. Okay, I don't look young anymore. I get it. Man, the world is continually telling me how old I am. So I got to review my profile. Make sure my picture looks good. Make sure my information is current and most up to date. So because this is where I'm at now, associate professor at Cal State. Perfect. But I'm applying for a new job, and the job poster, it says here, will get an email with your contact info and a link to your LinkedIn profile. So easy apply lets the system do the work, and all I have to do is put in the relevant contact info here in the middle, address and phone number. Beautiful. Now, what's really, really cool is you can upload your resume here too. And so it says at the bottom, the resume must meet these 3 requirements, and it gives you the file size. It has a a word minimum, okay, so not a maximum, that's nice. And then everything must match your profile in terms of your name and contact information. And, I want to give you a little tip here. If I'm you, when I'm starting the job process and I'm making these profiles and things like that, create a brand new email address. Maybe use Gmail, something real professional that is just for your job opportunities. And I think I said this before, but it's worth repeating. You can keep organized and have emails specific for jobs away from all your other personal or professional information. And then if you get an email, it's about a job. That's great. So create a nice, maybe professional Gmail, put it in there. Then you can upload your resume. And it also says you can submit a PDF version of your LinkedIn profile. This is beautiful, okay? So this is what the easy apply looks like, and that is easy, okay? Easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. I'm getting more and more excited about this job at Arcadia all the time. And if I make one more cover girl joke, you're definitely going to tell me to go apply and get the heck out of Sac State. I get it. If I go back to the job and I keep scrolling down, I actually want to show you some other information that the platform provides you. And we've talked about how important benefits are, and these benefits are also above and beyond, I think, what we've talked about before. So these are employer verified, and this is for patent agents. This was a position I applied to or was going to apply to, or I'd never apply there. I love Sac State, and I'm going to stay forever at Arcadia Biosciences. And so, okay, good. Medical insurance, vision, dental, and retirement 401k plan. And you can click on any of these and learn more. Like, for example, is there an employer match? And we talked about that in a previous video. But look at this new one, and I think this is neat. Right on the homepage, they understand that commute time to your job is a very, very important part of life and stress. And so it's using Bing. It's using Bing? Okay, little plot hole there. Microsoft, okay, well, that makes sense because Microsoft bought LinkedIn. Okay, so I get it. Got to use Bill Gates' tool. Would have been nice if it was Google, just saying. So you can set your commute from whatever starting address you want to the place of business, and this place is located in Davis, it says. And you can base it at a certain time, and so it's set at 8 a.m., but you could select any time of day that your commute happens to be. And so you can do this to work and from work and kind of get an idea, and then there's options for walking, public transport, if you're not going to be driving. So it's just another way that you, as the job seeker, can learn about what your life is going to be like. And if you have ever traveled between Sacramento and Davis, that causeway, depending on the time of day, which actually it's all the time, is pretty brutal. So this will give you an idea of what your quality of life and your commute might be like based on that. Okay, so the magic that we've been talking about. And we've done the work to build a great profile. We're looking to see now the jobs and internships of interest, and we're using our own data to give us these opportunities. The networking, as you saw, was critical. So we want to now focus on that. How are you going to get this network? How do you send professional communications to build this network? And then, what about that cool piece I keep talking about? I've been alluding to it. The recommendations from people and the endorsement of skills. Let's go there. And you can return your browser if you want to university.linkedin.com, and there's a tutorial sheet for you. It's another 2-pager. It's got another set of 1 through 10 where you get step-by-step information, and it's a great guide. I'm not going to go through that one. I want to send you there. You can go through it yourself. This one is the link marked networking on LinkedIn. So go to that tutorial and you can build it. And then so start making connections with the people you know. And that might sound super straightforward and obvious, and it is. However, you might also be tempted to think, man, I can't possibly start with my classmates because we're just all classmates at a school. Well, actually, that's a beautiful place to start. And it's a beautiful place to begin connecting so that you can make other connections through them and their professors and their professors' contacts. And soon you're all going to graduate and you're going to be professionals out there together. So start your network now. By the time you graduate and are a few years into your career, you'll have a head start. And that's a great thing. So friends, family, classmates, mentors, teachers, and professors are all count and all are great. And you saw some professors already throughout this tutorial, including myself, Dr. Reams, and Sproul's. Here's the key for some of the more professional, and this is a professional networking tool, ways to communicate in the beginning especially. So it says personalize your invitation so people remember who you are. When you click on connect with somebody, it will say, would you like to send a message, a personal message? And you should always do that, especially if it's a professor. This is an example on the left of a very brief, very well written, super nice way to initiate a communication. Dear Professor Smith, I very much enjoyed your Econ 201 class last year. Right off the bat, they're providing context. Hey, Professor, this is where I was. You may remember me, you might not, but I took this particular class of yours last year. And, I would actually indicate the semester and year, just to be specific. Maybe I'd put fall 2019. It's actually what inspired me to major in econ. Wow! What professor can resist somebody saying that a student was inspired by their work? Little flattery goes a long way. And then, hey, may I add you to my network? Super polite, super to the point. Please always personalize. Here's a great example that you can modify a little bit when you're doing yours. So let's keep building on that first previous and professional example. Tap your connections and alumni for help. Why? Well, they work in the jobs in the companies that interest you. We know that the more your network contains people very broadly, then the chances are we're going to have not only different jobs represented, but also different parts of the country represented when we go to see where our connections lie for particular jobs. And yes, as mentioned before, they can connect you with someone else who does. So it might be a third connection away, and so we're 2 degrees to Kevin Bacon, but that's important and they can help too. So help me connect with this person. Here's another example of how to say it. Who are you? How you came across their profile, how they can help you, right? Be direct, be succinct, be professional. Link in to people professionally. So, dear Scott, I found your profile through the UT Alumni Network. I'm a current student and would like to talk to you about your path at Amazon. Path to Amazon, at Amazon. Do both. Amazon is my top choice employer for next year, so I'd love to get your perspective. Would you be available for a 20-minute phone conversation? I look forward to hearing from you. So this person said phone. Maybe you took my advice and this is the coffee connection, or if the person's local. Or maybe you could just leave it as a email exchange, or you can use the messaging app through the LinkedIn profile. So again, short, sweet, to the point. This is now a connection that could potentially really get you that opportunity. Maybe it's the internship or job of your dreams. Here we go. It all starts with a really nicely worded communication. One of the tutorials back on university.linkedin.com that I do want to walk you through is the how to network on LinkedIn. And so we kind of just started the process a little bit, started to think about it. Let's kind of go through their step-by-step process for how to do this. Again, we want to know how to do it professionally. We want to know what to say. We want to know where to look. Okay, so let's see what they say. Number 1, 100% complete equals 40 times more opportunities. Back on your profile page, it will tell you how complete LinkedIn evaluates your profile based on your content, based on a percentage, and you'll see that. And until you have your picture, and until you have your education, until you put your experience with some descriptors, until you add some projects and things like that, all the stuff we've talked about, it'll tell you, you know what, your profile's still half done. It's only 50% done. So the more complete, the more information. The more information, the more data. The more data, the more opportunities. The easier it becomes to let the profile do the work for you, so that LinkedIn can just send the magic your way. Number 2, and this is important, you're more experienced than you think. Think broadly about all your experience, including summer jobs and internships. again, we've talked about this already. We've had you do this in class, and we've already kind of explained to you the value of being a well-rounded person, even that a cappella example. So we're going to leave that one there. Number 3, use your inbox. Networking doesn't just mean researching out cold to strangers. Start building your LinkedIn network by uploading your online address book from your email account and connecting to people you know and trust. Number 3, let me say that again. You might have an address book on an email platform. It might include your professors. It might include your classmates. It might include employers already that you've worked at or previous volunteer experiences. You can actually, through that, upload and modify and send personalized communications to build your network directly from your inbox. And that's really cool. So number 4, again, be personal. Don't just send those connections. If they allow you to do it without a note, but you really should build in a note. And again, keep it friendly, keep it professional, keep it concise. And I always recommend in number 4 here, remind people what the connection is. Sometimes time passes, and for faculty or employers who see lots of people in any given semester or year in a job, maybe previous volunteer experience was a couple years old at this point, you just want to remind people. So even if they do remember, it's a nice token. Okay. Number 5, join the in crowd. LinkedIn groups can help you form new connections, and we're going to go into the groups in a couple slides from now, so I'm going to kind of hold on that. But groups are important, and Sac State has a group, for example. Start with your school groups like this and reach out to alumni. Find volunteer organizations and associations you belong to. And I mentioned before, professional societies like American Society of Microbiology. Sac State has its own page. Groups are key, and they'll tell you about events, etc. I'll get there in just a little bit. Number 6, lend virtual hands. As you build connections, think about how you can support others. Comment on the classmate's status with recommendations and endorsements of skills. Again, we've talked about that, and I'll show you that in just a second. Keep updated. Update your status early and often. So this is important. Networking isn't just about who you know, it's about who knows you. So stay on your network's radar by updating your LinkedIn status regularly, what you're reading, working on, and more. And so there are ways to connect in beyond just kind of your skill set. And that's what they're telling you here. The more active you are, the more engaged you are with your skill set, and the more updated you are, the more relevant you'll be for people to find you, and then therefore opportunities to come your way. In number 8, it says request informational interviews. And to be honest, I'm not sure I feel comfortable with their advice on this one. It says asking for a brief phone conversation. I actually recommend what we said before, which is start with the recruiters, ask for an opportunity to have them evaluate your credentials based on the job profile, or if you have specific questions about the jobs. I just leave it all electronically through there for now. And then if you are using your contacts and your networks to chat, well, they've given you a way to do that through the messaging platform, and we give you kind of ways to initiate that. And where you go from there, that's up to you guys. Maybe that's, again, a coffee or a phone. It kind of just depends. So I wouldn't just jump to the phone conversation. If that's just my little piece of advice there. Number 9, do your homework. If you do get an interview or you are going to talk to a recruiter, make sure you do the advanced search and learn about the company, right? Learning about the company is so important. Before you interview, before you reach out to a recruiter, before you go anywhere, and again, before you apply, because again, we want you to match your values to the company's, but the company wants you to know about them too, to see if you match their values. So it's a two-way street. So make sure you're ready to talk about why you want to work, not just in the industry you're choosing, but the particular location. And number 10, stay away from the computer. Support your online networking with a real human touch. Set up calls, attend live events, send mail notes, blah, blah, blah. So we've kind of talked about that. The more you can get away from LinkedIn, the better. So use it to make the initial contacts, use it to find jobs and things like that, and then take it offline and actually talk to people. Okay, great. So now that we kind of have some strategies for how to reach out and why we would want to network, let's see what it actually looks like when we start to have a network. So back to our profile page we go, and we already looked at the Jobs tab up at the top at the bar. I want to show you now, and I just put a green arrow towards it, the My Network tab. And when you do click on that, you're going to see a couple of things. You're going to see invitations. So right there in the middle, these are people who have reached out to me, and it looks like it says see all 13. People have invited me to connect on LinkedIn. Ooh, and if I click on that person, the first one is a superstar that you might know. Right downstairs in the NSM Advising Center, this is Ms. Gabrielle Hoskins, and maybe you had advising with her as a pre-major student or a recent transfer to the university. She's fantastic, and she wants to connect. And so if I clicked on that and she sent me a private message, like we've taught you how to make, it would say, hey, and blah, blah, blah. I would get all the information there. It actually says right on her page, besides her name, her title, and then all of the connections we have in common, including someone named Yanni, and it says 20 other people. Wow. Okay, so I can ignore her. That would not happen. Or I can accept. And honestly, if I don't know the person, I do ignore it, and I think you should too. Only do people you trust or people who have people in your network that you trust, shared contacts. So maybe you don't know Gabby super well, but you know those 21 other people you share, and so you think, okay, that sounds pretty safe. I'll trust that. On the left, there are Manage My Network. So you can see there the number of connections you currently have, and so I actually have 389. You can create teams, and I currently don't have any teams, so I don't have any teammates. Contacts, that's a little different, and I'm going to go through that later. Groups, and I have 3 groups. I'll show you the groups. Pages and hashtags. All these things are considered ways to network and communicate with both people, but also professional groups and societies, universities, companies, things like that. So we're going to go through that as well. If you were to keep scrolling down past what you saw there on the last slide, so underneath invitations, as you start to build a network, LinkedIn is super smart and actually helps you network for you. Oh, this is great. The magic, again, of the data you put in. As you build people, they suggest people to you based on the people you already have in your network. And again, this is why being specific and following groups is important. This is why having your education is important, and it will recommend people based on that. So let me walk you through a couple of examples that apply to my profile. So my institution of graduation for my degree was Ohio State. And so it says, hey, you put on your profile that you were educated at Ohio State. So we'd like to suggest to you people that you might know from Ohio State. And then there are 8 profiles you see here. And then on the upper right, it says see all. And so there'd be a lot more than that. And so they're going to show people here that they think I might know. And their algorithm is pretty smart. It knows that I went to Ohio State. But it's also showing you these people that are in similar industries to you. And so these are all biologists or professors. And that's also information based on my profile. So it's not just that they went to Ohio State, but it's also that they're in a similar industry to me. And it also says if we have connections or not. And so on the bottom there, it looks like, wow, if I do a quick scan, Amy Dworkin, I'm having a tough time remembering who that is. Oh my gosh, who is that? We have 23 mutual connections. Wow. I might want to click on her profile and refresh my memory, and then maybe we'll connect. And so I could click connect. Again, if you click connect, it'll give you an opportunity to add a personalized message, and we recommend that you absolutely do. So it's going to recommend people from your institution where you got your degree. It will refine it based on your field, that is based on your experience and your skills, and then it'll show you the connections you have in common. That is really cool. Build a smart profile, put in lots of good skills, you're going to get better jobs, and you're going to get better suggestions for your network. So This is people you might know with similar roles to me. And so I'm a professor, and so look up. Hey, there are fellow professors out there in the world, and there's some data that match beyond just the fact that you guys are professors. They also account for geography, alumni network, and connections within this too. So it's similar roles, and look around here. Okay, I see Chris Voigt, professor at MIT, bottom left. Okay, great. I was first, if you didn't notice by now, looking within these categories by how many connections I have. And so I'm kind of starting with the fact that on this screen he has 9 mutual connections, and that's the most of to me of any of these folks so far. So maybe I click on the profile and think, wow, this is a good fit, and maybe there's a good reason. So you want to have a good reason, and you want to create a good first impression by a personal message. So these are roles. If you keep scrolling down, you're going to see that, oh, I built a smart profile. I indicate that I'm in Sacramento, and it's actually now suggesting people that I might know that, hey, they're just in Sacramento in general. And so this might be a little more broad than just a professor and, oh, just a biologist who's a professor, but maybe also to people who live in the community who have certain skills that are also relevant to Sacramento and connections that are really smartly populated in this algorithm. And so I can start to connect with people, and maybe I can start to collaborate. And collaborations are so important, and it's nice to remember that you don't have to know everything. And when you collaborate, it's good to collaborate with people who have skill sets other than yours. And so if you're just looking at the networking of people within a certain umbrella that you fall into, you might miss some opportunities to connect with people who can expand your own skill sets with people from different industries and different backgrounds. So this is just doing that for me and keeping it local. And that's really cool. Okay, so that was a little bit about the people they're recommending, and I actually didn't show you all of them, but they recommend people based on other things too. I want to skip down, if I kept scrolling within that network tab, to pages. Pages trending in your network. So companies have pages, universities have pages, groups within universities have pages, and you can start to follow them. And I highly, highly, highly recommend you do this. Follow companies that match your interests and match where you want to go. Illumina is a biotech company. The state of California, wow, they employ tons of people. Government jobs in science, I'm in for that. Cool. Oh, there's a Sac State Continuing Education. There's UC Davis Health System. There's the Wall Street Journal. There's CRISPR Therapeutics. Look at the range. Biotech companies, state government agencies, and universities all on the same page here, and each have pages. Go ahead and click on one of those, and you're going to learn a lot of information about them, and you can follow them. So why don't we do an example here? How about the state of California? Let's do california.gov. What happens if I follow a company? What happens if I click on to do a little bit more research, this state of California page, and almost has 50,000 followers? And so what is this all about? Why would this help my LinkedIn presence? Well, let's use this as, okay, this is cool. I've clicked on state of California, california.gov, your state, your government, your future, hashtag. Oh, it's got it all. I could follow it. I could link myself out of here to the company website. It says visit website. Look at this over on the right hand side. I put a green arrow. 22 people from my company were hired here. So you can start to be really smart about how you're looking, and then by job type of a company, employer, go to their page and see how many people in your network were actually there. That's the magic, again, of LinkedIn. You can actually see all 26,000 employees on LinkedIn. That's probably going to be a little bit more than you need. So start with maybe the 22 people that you know that are in your network, and that's just the example based on my profile. Over here on the left-hand side, I put a second green arrow. I can click on jobs, and there are jobs embedded from the pages, and they're going to sort that by my profile data. So the most relevant jobs will show up first. And so you can get to jobs through here. And also, you could do a lot of research about California.gov. So what are they all about? They've got a little life thing here and people. So you can do a lot of market research based on this page option. In the middle here, I've got a little ability to change what I'm looking at. There's all images, documents, or videos. And so California.gov may have uploaded a series of videos that they want you to see. They're organized over there. This is called a running log and sort of almost like a little posting hub, if you will. So they might write an article and put it here. They might point to a news blurb and put it here. They might suggest some jobs that they've currently uploaded. And so that's going to be running there. It will go to your home tab with other companies and state agencies and things that you're following as well. So you're going to get news tailored to you based on what you follow on your home tab. And that's a nice way to not have to go to a company page a million times. Just follow them, and their news briefs and little hub postings will show up right there on your home feed. And that's cool. You can always stay in the know there on the bottom right with what they have are their community hashtags. So going to the pages and following them is really great to learn more about opportunities, and then this will populate information on your homepage. Okay, so back to the networking. We'll go up to the top. We've talked about invitations and people. We've talked about how LinkedIn suggests people to you based on your profile content. I want to return to the teaser I kept throwing out at you, which is groups. And groups are super important, and I'm going to give you a little bit about why and how this is going to help you. When you click on that Groups tab, this is what you see. An opportunity to search for groups, and so that's that search bar at the top left, and then it lists the groups that you may already be in. And so, for example, I'm in the group right here at Sac State, the Science Educational Equity Program. I'm a member of the Ohio State Biomedical Sciences Graduate Program alumni, and that happens to be the group where I did my PhD, and it tells you how many members you have in these groups. There's currently 163 members of my alumni group. I've talked about professional societies, and this is one of them, the American Society of Microbiology. Pharmacy has one, and optometry has one. Physicians have theirs. There's professional groups for anything you could think of. So here's my groups. Requested, that is a piece if you are awaiting enrollment into a group. So some of these groups, they don't just allow you to follow them or enroll and be a member of the group. They have to confirm that, oh yeah, this person did graduate from Ohio State. So if you're waiting for the invitation to join the group to be accepted, you'd have in that requested tab a list of ones in waiting, so to speak. And so there's your search bar with the green arrow. And you know what? You can actually create a new group. Let's say you notice that you're a member of the Future Pharmacist Student Organization here, and you were one of the program officers, and you thought, you know, we don't have a group, but boy, it would be great to create a group for now and into the future, because long after I've graduated and long after other Sac State grads have graduated, we'll all be pharmacists out there together, and we can help each other then, and then we can help the next generation of Sac State students who are coming up the pipeline. You know, 10 years from now, there'll be another Bio100 student who wants to do pharmacy, and they're going to be like, I have to make a LinkedIn profile? And then they're going to be like, all right, I'll do it. And they'll be like, I have to connect? Okay, all right, I'll do it. And they'll be like, I want to connect with other Sac State pharmacists. And how would I do that? Well, create a group for your organization and get it done. So here's an example of one of the groups. This is the American Society for Microbiology group. Okay, so it kind of looks like a page, except it's more exclusive in that I'm a member of this group. They know I belong, and so up at the top right, it gives you a little information about the group. These are people who are administrators. Right below there, you see their profiles, and looks like I'm third connection with a couple of them, and I'm second connection with one of them, and you know, maybe I'm gonna start to connect with those folks. Science outreach and education, marketing managers, and wow, hey, that sounds like something I should actually be involved with. I could actually start a conversation in this group and talk to other professionals within the American Society for Microbiology. Maybe I want to ask them about this job or that job or this opportunity or what it's like to be a microbiologist. Try throwing that out there. What is it like to do your job, and what do you like, and what are the challenges? And boy, people will contribute, and you're going to get a lot of information. So instead of having to do market research online and look at reviews for people whom you have no idea, you can be much more targeted, and you can even start to network with those people and get a much better sense of how to evaluate information about how people think. This is just the top of the page. I took a screenshot. People within this group can post stories and news articles, and this one was about, that you could see here on the left, tuberculosis, which is a lung infection, and how deadly it is, and this is what microbiologists talk about. How do people die from diseases, and how can we stop it? Well, we talk about other things too, but So group and membership in group on LinkedIn is so important because you can ask things of the community, you can read information from the community, and you can build connections that are super relevant. So this is just one example of how you could use that. Similar to a page, but much more targeted. Great job. Great job, and thank you for hanging in there. I hope you're finding this interesting. We've now consulted the tutorial sheet. You've listened to suggestions about networks and pages and groups and all this great stuff. You know what? Let's return to the endorsement of skill sets and leaving professional recommendations and receiving them too. Louis Pasteur said it above, and I've been saying it, but you don't have to take our words for it. Here's an infographic, and I know infographics speak louder than words. Getting a referral is still the best way to find a job. Who you know, who you know, who you know, who you know. 85% of jobs get filled through employee referrals. 85% of jobs get filled through employee referrals. People want to work with people they trust. People want to work with people they know. It makes sense. 85% of jobs get filled through employee referrals. LinkedIn helps you be one of those 85%ers. Let's do it. Let's get in. Let's get in. Let's LinkedIn. Let's link in. Let's link. Number one, the top way companies recruit is through employees referring people they know. Are you convinced? Do you like this infographic? So I'm going to start by showing you an example. And to do so, I'm going to the profile page of a LinkedIn member who I connect with, and her name is Vinita Sivamani, and her position, as you can see at the top left, is founder and CEO of a company called LearnSkin. And so this is all about education and outreach about the biology of the skin. And again, when you're thinking about careers, just remember, this degree is not a one-size-fits-all model. And if you want to educate, but you don't want to be at a school, we can educate out to the community. So that's exactly what she did. And I think that's really awesome. And so I thought this would be a nice example of something not about bench science, but a little bit outside the box. So when you go down on her page, and they're right there for you to see, right? The recommendations are there so that anybody can view them. It gives you some options. It says ask for a recommendation. It allows you to recommend Vinita. We can look at and see she has received 7 on her profile. And if we scroll down, we'd see all 7, and that she's given 4. And so it's important to note that employers and potential people that you connect with can see both the received recommendations and the ones you've given others. And I really like that because I know you're thinking to yourself, oh boy, I need to get some recommendations and make myself look good, and that's one part of it. But the way you are evaluating other people and that people can see that shows a lot about you too, and your potential, and the nice things you say about people might actually be one of the tipping points. So received, we're going to stay on here, and I'm going to show you some examples. So if you look, this first one was given to Vinita back in 2014, and it says, Vinita is an exceptional colleague and one of the most results-driven people I've ever met. She never ceases to bring new ideas, new energy, and a positive attitude to the Vision's board of directors. And then it says, see more if you want to read more. The second one says, Vinita is committed been a committed and instrumental member of the board of directors. So you want to think carefully about who you're asking recommendations for to make sure they're going to comment on very relevant experiences and skills and leadership that you speak to your team oriented abilities and ability to do jobs at a really high level. And then if you were to click on the given, you'd see what she's written about others. And so here's one in the given tab, and you clicked on that now. And it says for this person named Aaron, as one of the founders in the Entrepreneurs Showcase Accelerator program, I attended a 10-session boot camp on topics ranging from identifying your target market to honing your pitch. Aaron helped us focus our offering and prepare for investor meetings. He gets entrepreneurship and does a great job teaching it. The reason I like the ones that she's written here is that it speaks to the skill sets, obviously, but she did it short and concise, and I don't have to click to see more. It's all right there. She did it in a couple of quick sentences, and I think that's the way to do it. And she did it for this person down below named Jacob as well. So giving and receiving and how it shows up on your profile are very, very important considerations. So choose wisely who you want to put recommendations on your page, and make sure you write yours very strategically as well, because they'll be right here as digital copies. The last piece I want to talk about with connections and recommendations is kind of broadening your reach by potentially writing articles yourself and then embedding videos and pictures within experiences. And we talked about that, for example, as PowerPoint slides from a class, or you showing yourself volunteering at a particular opportunity and doing work for the community. Not only does that enhance your skill set, but it actually helps you communicate and builds on the networking component. And so let's talk about that as we finish things up. Let's stay on Vanita's profile and use as an example for one of those types of multimedia usages, and that would be, in this case, little article writing. So it's under the articles and activities component. And so Vanita thought it would be really wise of her to write a bit of an article. 3 reasons to pay attention to integrative dermatology. Now, this is really smart. She runs a company that is focused on teaching the community at large about skin. And she thought it would be smart to tell the world 3 reasons why they should do it. Why should you do it in the first place? And then that would direct traffic to her company. And so she kept it short and sweet. And if you clicked on that, you could read it, and you could actually like and comment about the experience and people had. Someone wrote, "Congratulations." And someone said, "We enjoyed having the podcast." And so Vanita said, "Thanks. This is great." You could see all the activity if you clicked on it. And so this is a way not only to draw attention to the things you're doing. Maybe you're going to write a little article about why pharmacy, and that's going to be a prelude to your personal statements, and then a company will see that, or anything else you could think of that's relevant. And beyond that, it allows you to build your network and interact with the community in more of a social manner, and this is kind of the social professional side of that. Beyond writing articles, you can also embed videos. This is an example of a page showing you 2 different job experiences. This person was director at Dolby Laboratories and then director at Accenture Interactive. And within a job description in the experience section, created, again, brief, what did I do? Led content marketing and digital brand, blah, blah, blah. And then for portfolio pieces, put in videos. And so you can see that each of those has their component for showcasing the work in a multimedia platform. The final piece about networking that we're going to mention is the congratulating folks on career accomplishments via notifications. For this last piece, back to the profile we go. We've been through what you can find on the home, the My Network, the jobs, and the messaging tabs. Let's do this last one, the notifications, because this actually really helps you stay current with lots of different things, including the people, the groups, and the pages you follow and that are in your network. It gives you an opportunity to be social, and let me show you how. When I clicked on notifications, some of this is professional, some of it's not as professional. So for example, at the top, this person is celebrating 9 years at the American Chemical Society. If I clicked on that, I might be able to give the thumbs up. I could write a personal note. It gives me an opportunity to say congratulations. In the second post, Dr. McReynolds, one of the professors here on this campus in chemistry, invited me to join a group. Ah, cool. Okay, I should probably do that. I need to join this group. There's that kind of notification. The third, someone in my network shared a post, and it just so happens to be related to a job ad that she's advertising for, and she wants to recruit. Cool. The next one, well, someone chose to include their birthday in their profile, and so it would give you happy birthday, wish them best on their special day opportunity here. And so that's one of my contacts whose birthday was on October 23rd. Cool. I congratulate people for how much time they've been at a particular job, usually on an annual basis. This platform will allow me to do that, say congrats and whatnot. And at the very bottom, it says, hey, you can congratulate this person in your network for completing their coursework at the University of Pacific School of Dentistry. Wow. Hey, you know what? That is outstanding. That is one of our wonderful alumni here from Sac State who went on to dentistry school at the University of the Pacific. Hannah was one of my favorite students. I have the opportunity to say congratulations to her. And you know what? I may not have even known about this, because we're all busy people, and she might not have the time to email me that this happened. But because we're LinkedIn, we are LinkedIn buds, and the notifications tool is so smart and populates with the really good highlights that I might want to interact with. At the bottom here, I have the opportunity to say congratulations, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave her the best note of congratulations of all congratulations notes. Okay, I congratulated Hannah, and now I feel really good about it. I want to show you actually what this platform looks like. So here's another example based on Vanita. She was voted as a Woman of Influence 2019, and this was based on an article in the Davis Enterprise, and she was a graduate of the UC Davis MBA program, and they were spotlighting her, and they advertised this. And you know what? What a great way to celebrate someone's achievements through this news article that was put onto LinkedIn and linked up at the top, as you can see in blue, to various groups. The Davis Enterprise newspaper, the UC Davis Grad School of Management. They were like, okay, we got to involve them. Now, look at the bottom here. This little bracketed in green component gives you ways to do it. So you can leave a comment, and there are currently 35. You can either do the old thumbs up, heart, or clap emoji, and there's 140 of those. And so you can see it leaves you the opportunity to put a comment. And oh, this is really nice. Her husband, Raja Sivamani, says, you're an inspiration in all parts of life. And then you could like that comment because you think, that's really cute. I mean, that's really nice. What a supportive husband that is. Raja Sivamani, living it for the win. So, importantly, have fun with this. These friends you have now might be your friends and your colleagues forever. You might start a company together. You might be in grad school together. You might do all of the above. You might even end up on the same street in the same neighborhood someday and have houses next to each other and paint them the same color and have Kool-Aid parties with your kids and go to the swim park and do all the soccer things and wow, all because of LinkedIn, all because you took Buy 100, all because Buy 100, it set up your whole life. Thanks, Buy 100. Buy 100 for the win. We asked you to define your values. We asked you to learn how to research places. We asked you to think about what was really, really important. That should be fun. I know it's stressful. We really do. There's obviously a stressful component to all of this, but if you're doing it right, you're having a little fun along the way. So thanks for listening to this video, and enjoy building a LinkedIn profile and using it to maximize your life.